Good morning, this is XFM, that is the Coral in the morning, and this is Josh Widdicombe, joined for the first time, well, it's not our first time out of London, is it, producer Neil?
No, we did the show from Birmingham that one time.
But we've gone a bit more ambitious now, we're in Edinburgh, broadcasting from Edinburgh for the next 2 weeks. So, I'm up here doing the festival.
What's your show?
My show, incidentally, it's called 9pm till Thursday. But then obviously I'll still be up for next week's show, don't worry about that. Now, we try to make these Edinburgh-themed Edinburgh special shows.
Scottish-related.
And so we've got more comics coming in. We've got my picks of some of my favourite comics who are in Edinburgh will be joining us throughout the shows. And you've, because you claim to be a Scottish man, Neil.
I am.
You've programmed some Scottish music.
Yep.
And also you've got some Scottish facts.
Yeah, well, we're not doing In Pursuit of the Trivial for the next 2 weeks because it's too much effort. So I thought I would just wow you with some Scottish facts throughout the show.
Wow me into placebo. I don't know if you have brought Scottish trivia. You just started looking around the room.
Well, no, I was looking for my inspiration.
All right.
So we've got some Tonics tea cakes.
Yeah, have you got a Tonics fact?
They were made in the hometown where I was born, Uddingston.
I don't know if that qualifies as trivia.
Josh Widdicombe podcast, XFM.
As always, but this for the first time live in the studio. Well, this is in Edinburgh. I say studio, yeah, sitting room. Because this is an Edinburgh special. Joe Lycett, news hound. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Josh. Good morning, listeners.
What have you got for us?
Well, Josh, it's a big Edinburgh news this week. The panda, called, I think, Yang Yan.
Oh, yeah.
Should have researched this. Is pregnant.
Oh,
have you seen? Well, they think she's pregnant, but they're not sure. But she's sort of acting a bit pregnant.
Putting on weight.
She might just be a bit chub. But that begs the question, why has it happened during the Edinburgh Festival? Is it one of the horny comedians that's here that has done the damage? Would you mind having a half panda child? I mean, you're quite panda-like anyway.
I am quite panda-like.
Actually, that's weird. I imagine your spirit animal might be a panda.
What's a spirit animal?
Where, it talks to you.
What do you think yours is?
I know mine's a walrus.
You know?
I know it's a fact.
Ylang-ylang,
Ylang-ylang, which is definitely not the name of the animal. I'm just doing a quick Google search to find the name of the animal.
It's
just like a normal show, really. Still live Googling. It's called Tian Tian, and Tian Tian may be pregnant. Artificially inseminated in April. So, have you done any tour shows in April?
No, that was my birthday, though.
Sort of gifts you get when you get to Josh's level of show business. If it is prego, it could potentially give birth any time in the next month, which is exciting.
Blimey. So then, has it got a bloke?
What do you mean, like a father?
Yeah.
A bloke? Is that what you call your dad? Where's my bloke? Well, yeah, presumably, but it's artificially inseminated, so I don't know where the father is. Typical single parenting.
Broken Britain.
But I don't think it matters because they've got a whole zoo worth of people who'll look after her. It will be the very first ever cub born in the UK.
Oh.
Because I imagine Tian Tian isn't a local name in Edinburgh. Well, maybe they'll call it a Scottish name.
Angus.
Angus the panda.
Angus the panda. Angus the panda would be a very popular children's character. And I did suggest that myself then, Angus. We can listen back and say that's copyrighted now.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're the father, so you do get a say in it.
Yeah,
and I imagine Tian Tian isn't going to be piping up with any...
Nah,
whilst the birth certificate's being written.
She's just in it for the bamboo.
It's a potentially heartwarming story.
Too much bamboo.
Potentially just a story of another Broken Britain story of overeating in Edinburgh.
One way or another, that panda's going to end up on daytime TV. Yeah. Katie Hopkins does not like that panda. Particularly with those names. So, well, thank you very much, Joe. Normally we'd say goodbye at this point, but, just you're in the room, it's a bit...
See yourself out.
Yeah, I'll just leave.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
And now for the second hour of the show, Charlie Baker. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Josh. Morning.
One of the only other comedians from Devon.
Yes, a hotbed of comedy talent.
Dawn French?
Dawn French. Is she from there?
I met her in Cornwall recently.
That's not Devon, mate.
No, it's not Devon.
That's not Devon. You couldn't be much more wrong.
Well, I could. I think Cornwall is more like Devon than anywhere else. Although that would have you lynched in both counties.
Yeah, in both. You on the Tamar Bridge. You wouldn't be able to go on it. Wouldn't be allowed on it.
So for the listener at home, the Tamar Bridge. Well, there's a bridge that joins Cornwall and Devon, like kind of holds.
Yeah,
just holds Cornwall to Britain.
Unlike Wales, where you pay to get in.
Yeah.
Cornwall, you pay to get out.
Is that right? Yeah. And you can get the ferry, which is on chains.
Now there's a name for that because there's one in Dartmouth. What's that? What sort of ferry is that when it's on chains? We don't know. No one cares.
That's probably not one for the XFM demographic.
Not very XFM, Josh. Chain ferries, for goodness sake. I was coming on expecting to talk about jeans and like meow meow or something. We've talked about the Tamar Bridge in a chain ferry. You're a disaster, mate.
Well, thank you for coming on, Charlie. How has your Edinburgh been?
So far, I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm having a really good time. I'm singing quite a lot in my show. I'm singing the 13 biggest selling UK singles of the last 13 years.
So can you tell us what they are?
That will slightly spoil the show, but I will do, yeah, because they're all rubbish songs. Bob the Builder, it's the biggest selling single of the year 2000.
Yeah, good to start the century.
Working up
as you mean to go on.
Yeah, I mean, they're all awful. I don't know, I mean...
Well, actually, as a quick game, Neil...
Yeah.
Before the next song, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you for 3 guesses, and if you can get 2 out of 3
of the 13, yeah,
then we won't, excluding Bob the Builder, we won't put you on a train straight back to London.
Oh, good luck, Neil.
Good luck doing the rest of the show then. If I get it right.
Well, we can all press buttons, Neil. I've got GarageBand, mate.
Right, some of the biggest singles of the year. Oh man,
Not of the year.
I've got one for each year. You don't have to get the right year.
last 13 years. Eiffel 65.
No,
with Blue, was that not a big one?
That was one.
I've never even heard of that record.
Start the train.
Yeah. Come on, Neil. I think you're trying to show your indie credential
Eiffel 65
by not knowing about pop music. But
have a think. No,
if you get one,
I've actually gone blank on what songs exist in the chart.
This is
what do you think the biggest selling single of last year was? 2012. That's the last song in it.
That was the one I was most surprised by when I saw the show.
Because you'd think last year would be "Call Me Maybe," and it.
Oh
isn't.
no, I thought
that's what I was going to say.
No, it isn't that.
Something by David Guetta.
No, somebody that I used to know.
Oh, by Gautier.
No, there's the Elliott Smith version.
Good song. Good
If only
video.
we had a xylophone here to play.
If
that.
only.
You know.
Fingers crossed. Now, Charlie, so do we? Well, we'll talk about his show at the end.
Yeah, let's talk about my show. We don't want to sell tickets for that. Baker's Dozen 9:15.
The assembly rooms.
Assembly rooms.
It's not why you're here.
Not why I'm here, mate.
I tell you, what we'll do, we'll listen to a song, and then as a kind of way to get this into a kind of Edinburgh feel, because this is being recorded from my house in Edinburgh. You've brought me a memento of Edinburgh, so let's play a song,
A gift,
and then we'll see what the gift is.
Josh Widdicombe.
XFM. This is XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe on Saturday morning. Still joined by Charlie Baker.
still here.
Still here.
Like really just hanging around.
Just hanging around.
Like
Can't get rid of him. Now, Charlie.
Yes.
I asked you to bring a memento of Edinburgh or the Edinburgh Festival. Would you like to?
You're going to have to take both your trousers and pants off to put it on.
You've bought a kilt.
A kilt towel. It's a kilt towel, Josh.
So where did you get it?
You can put it on, come out the shower in it, and you look like you're wearing a kilt, but it's just a towel. Just a towel.
That's a classy bit of clobber you've got there.
You quite like that, don't you?
Where did you get that?
Oh, just from any souvenir shop on the Royal Mile. And I think
how much did that set you back?
It's like a rubbish towel, but it's got a kilt and it's got a sporran on it.
I think I prefer to use it as a towel than a kilt.
I don't think you could use it as a kilt without getting sort of what's that kilt thing you've got off. Get it off, you idiot. It's not even a very good towel, is the problem. It works.
No, this doesn't come across on radio. James Acaster's already in the room for the final hour. Do you want to just tell me what you think of the towel quality?
That's not so. That's going to be the kind of thing where you're going to be there for a very long time, rubbing it against your body. It's like fuzzy felt.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people have got a kind of graphic image there of you rubbing fuzzy felt on your body, James. And if they want to see that, your show's at 7 p.m.
That's his late night show in the caves.
So,
What do you think of it? I mean,
I'm
would you wear
pleased
it?
with it.
There's a red one, there's a blue one, and a green one.
no, this is the Widdicombe tartan. So have we got a photo of that, Neil?
I've just taken a photo. I'll put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think you have to put it on, and like all kilts, you have to wear it with nothing underneath.
Well, thank you for the present.
That's all right, mate. No, I like Scotland. though.
Do you
I like-
want me to actually have this?
I don't think so. No, I don't think you're going to wear it.
So I'll give
So
that back.
I'm going to take it back, and
You've got a.
I'm
small
still
child
wet
who'd
from my
enjoy it.
shower this morning, trying to dry myself with it. So
I thought you were just wearing wet look gel.
No, that's still trying to dry my hair with the rubbish towel. But have you ever been to? I like Scotland. Do you like the Highlands? Have you been to the Highlands?
I've never been anywhere except Edinburgh.
Oh, the Highlands, but in the Western Isles is fantastic.
My favourite place in Scotland, somewhere I've never been, which is Berwick upon Tweed, which you go through on the train, and it looks amazing. It's got a lighthouse. It might actually be in England.
I think you're right in saying because Berwick.
My favourite bit of
Rangers-
Scotland is in England.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
One of the things we talk about, that was an hour of my life I've wasted. I will never get back. Claire Pettifer, the hour at my own wedding being introduced to my mother-in-law's Morris dancing friend. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm presuming she wasn't Morris dancing at the time. They didn't all turn up in suits apart from one woman who had a sticker with bells on.
Do you think there's anyone in the world called Morris Dancing?
Is that your shout out?
Yeah, I wonder if there is anyone called. Is there anyone called Mr. Dancing? Is Dancing a surname?
Would you accept Morris Dance, like Charles Dance?
Morris Dance, yeah, that's as good, yeah.
Well, that's the appeal for the final hour.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the appeal for next week's show and for forever on.
Can we find anyone called Morris
We're looking
Dancing?
for someone called Morris Dancing.
Because you'll struggle to find anyone called Morris these days.
That's not the issue.
I think any Morrises can ring in.
You're not taking over the...
I'm not taking over the show, but I think that's a good phone-in.
I'm glad
Are
you're
you
not
called
taking over the show,
Morris?
because if XFM had employed you, your phone-in would be calling if you're called Morris.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is XFM from the Edinburgh Festival on a Saturday, well, not morning, what do you describe it, lunchtime?
Well, it's after midday now.
It's after midday, so lunchtime?
Well, afternoon.
Oh, I'm not going to throw people's eating times down the throats. Still joined by Charlie Baker,
Hello.
eating a flapjack. Can we hear that flapjack being eaten? Is that...
I love a flapjack.
You can.
Yeah.
Have you ever made flapjacks?
Well, no, less tangents, Charlie, less tangents.
That's what you need in flapjacks, no more tangents.
And joined for the final hour by James Acaster.
Yeah.
Oh.
How are you, James?
Yeah, very well, thank you, Josh.
I mean, you've been here kind of chipping in.
I've been here.
When you heard there was free
Tunnocks-
flapjack.
Tunnocks tea cake, and I've folded the wrapper into a neat square, so productive day already.
Well, if anyone's a neat square, James, it's you. Eh?
Wow, that was very good.
Straight, hit me where it hurts. Right out the doors.
How, do you like Edinburgh?
Yeah, mate, I love it.
Having fun?
Yeah, more or less. Having fun, you know.
I said to you, I'd seen someone tipped your show on Twitter.
Yep, my dad. My dad tweeted about it yesterday. Hashtag proud parent. He actually put, and he also tagged John Richardson in it because John was at the gig, and my dad turned round to him without John knowing that it was my dad, asking him subtly what he thought of the show and what he thought of this young comic, and then revealed to John, I'm his father, and then John went, right, so that was all a big trap, was it? What if I said I didn't like it? How awkward would this have been?
Was your mum there?
My mum was
Head in
there.
hands?
My mum was there, just like David up to his usual undercover Edinburgh shtick. Apparently he did it in the queue as well to some guys behind him. He turned around to them and went, how did you hear about this young man? Why are you coming to see him? And finding out from them, you know, what the
How have they
reasons
heard?
were. Apparently they choose 6 shows every Edinburgh. They choose 2 established acts, 2 up-and-comers and 2 brand-new acts.
You're not brand new.
That they haven't heard of. So I come and see them. So, yeah, you know.
So
I was one of the 6.
You were one of the 6.
One of the.
And did he reveal his secret to them as well?
No, I don't think he did. I don't think he goes revealing secrets to everyone, David Acaster.
But you know, when you left the stage, he stood up and shouted, I'm the boy's father.
Yeah, he went, you have me to thank and this lady here. It was a group effort. Not a group. Hopefully. Well, I dearly wish loads of people in the room stood up. And there's some speculation.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
James, you brought a present.
Yeah, brought a little present along. Basically, Josh, I got your text when I was leaving my flat about bringing a souvenir. I didn't have anything, so I ducked into a charity shop and bought a xylophone. It's a little xylophone, it's not a big one.
Have you got a
wheel
beater?
around. No, this is the thing, it didn't come with a beater.
Mate, a xylophone without a beater is just like a small, rigid table.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, it's like a washboard, really, isn't it? Like, the lady, it was a charity shop. And
How much did you pay?
I said, do we have a beater?
No.
And she said no. And I didn't want to go, well, forget it then. £3. No, that doesn't work, does it?
Do you play the xylophone in your show, Charlie?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've got a xylophone.
So could you knock the
but do
tune
you know,
out on
do you know
that?
what? No, I tried to get a really good xylophone for my show, and a proper xylophone is like £300.
Really?
£400, yeah, if you that you can tune and stuff. So I got like a £12 one off eBay.
So could you play the bit that you play in your show on
oh
there?
no, it's not very. It's no is the answer.
That's a nice one. We're actually, in many ways, appropriate for it. We our second
Yeah.
meeting with a xylophone, we did, Charlie, me and James took part in Live Nightmare. With a K.
The show.
Remember the children's TV show?
Yeah, yeah.
And well, our first task, we were presented with a table, and we could take 2 items. And the items we got to choose from were a xylophone, chalk.
And a tin opener.
Which 2 would you have taken, Neil?
I would have taken the xylophone and the tin opener. Do you want some trivia about tin openers?
Yes.
Yes.
They were invented 45 years after the tin.
What?
Yeah.
What, a mechanical tin opener?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you used to have a thing, that's what's on a Swiss Army.
Yeah, no, they didn't just
Yeah,
have
yeah.
tins of food that they couldn't open for
No,
45
no.
years.
Right, we've got it in there. How do we get it out?
Yeah.
I love beans.
I've got them in this tin.
So, which do we did? Well, we took the.
Did you need them
exactly
later
what we
on to play like a tune, like Goonies-esque?
We
sort of
did. We
tune?
played a little tune to get into a nightclub that was guarded by a goblin. And
But we were also we played Nightmare with it beforehand, eh?
oh, very good.
Do you know people who paint alphabets for kids when they have like
Yeah, they have
an
xylophones
apple
X.
on there? What do you think they were quite
Before
annoyed?
the invention of the xylophone.
No, well, do you think the xylophone was obviously always there? What happened when X-ray came along? They had to learn to paint that then, didn't they? People who painted X.
But just an X-ray of a xylophone.
Very good.
Very clever.
Very good.
There you go. Put that up.
And someone...
If you are getting X-rayed, a little fun trick you can do is strap 2 xylophones to your chest, and then it looks like you got really weird ribs. It comes out in the X-ray. They get really concerned. Oh, what is wrong with this man? His ribs. It's the
Old
weirdest.
xylo ribs.
Go, I love the letter X. That's all that's wrong
Just
with me.
loving the X.
just love the
XFM.
letter
It could be XFM's new...
How we didn't
Yeah.
get to XFM? That should be the new logo for XFM.
logo.
A man with xylophone ribs.
With xylophone ribs going through an
X-ray
X-ray.
imaging.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
Still joined by James Acaster, who is currently having his photo taken because his microphone matches his socks. Edinburgh
he
Festival,
refuses to
the
turn up.
greatest arts festival in the world, and that's the most excited I've seen you in a week.
Mate, some shows, that is all they do. Don't even.
Where would that be listed in the brochure? Theatre or modern dance?
Contemporary dance, mate. Contemporary dance.
Win an award, I'll tell you that much.
Right, now... it's just good to see something that isn't stand-up. Really breaks up the day. We are talking... This is your chance, James, for your classic scrape.
An Edinburgh one.
Yeah.
It's from like a few Edinburghs ago. Well, I made a faux pas and I didn't mean to. Right, basically. Okay, so at the start of the festival, a comedian that I really like, I think she's hilarious, Holly Byrne. You heard of Holly Byrne?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would never congratulate anyone on reviews now, but at the time I didn't know that wasn't what you did. But anyway, so I went up to Holly Byrne and said, congratulations on that review, and she was very nice about it. She was like, oh, thanks so much, and I said to her, look, by the way, I don't, I'm not one of those people who just goes around saying this to everyone and just congratulating. Like, honestly, I'm only saying it to you because I'm genuinely really happy.
Did you add also are you single? Because it does
Yeah, I said,
That's
by the
something you were chatting her
way,
up.
will you marry me? So I did that, beginning of the festival, left it. Whole festival just went about my business. It's fine. And then, almost near the end of the festival, I was in Brooks Bar.
Which is an artist's
a little bar full of comics all mingling with each other. And I saw someone from there's a sketch group called the Boom Jennies, all female sketch group.
Yeah.
And I'd seen them before Edinburgh and thought that one of them was one of the most
Was possibly single.
was possibly single and could do would maybe like to settle down with a gent who gets into all kinds of scrapes. And just
No.
I saw her and I went, "Hey, you're in the Boom Jennies." She went, "Yeah." I went, "You." It's the most inherently funny people I've seen in ages. Really funny. She looked at me like really quite unimpressed at the time, if I'm honest. And I was like, oh, because Brooks is like always full of comics going around saying this kind of stuff to each other. This must seem quite like I seem quite shallow, and I'm just another person just like trying to climb up the ladder and network. So I went, oh no, I don't just go around saying this kind of stuff to people. Then Holly Byrne turned around.
Brilliant. This is brilliant.
Then she just turned around and went, well, you said it to me at the beginning of
Oh,
No.
mate.
So where was Holly Byrne stood?
Holly Byrne stood at the bar, back to us. We were behind her at the bar.
Oh.
I was doing this. Holly Byrne heard this
Can
and
you
thought,
imagine how her heart was breaking?
Yeah.
I was
As
breaking and probably thinking, I'm not letting this creep get away with this. It's the exact same line he fed me.
And she was clinging on to that the whole of the festival.
Yeah.
At least that James liked me.
Yeah. I just turned around and he said that to me, and then they both looked at me like, oh. I said, and I'd go, oh no. Oh, no, you two are the only two. Which sounds so much like a lie.
Worse, mate.
Someone, I can't remember who else was standing there with one of their friends, and someone else went, this is a guy as well. He went, it's funny as well, because you're both women, aren't you? I was like,
Cool.
I was like, whoa. Like, come on, man. Like, honestly.
That is a...
Did.
If they are listening, would you like to make an on-air apology?
Yeah. Boom Jennies, I'm a sincere man. Every time I tell people they're good, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Josh, and I want you to know. I want you to know that I really did think one of you was inherently funny.
One of you? That's what I like.
mate.
Oh, she was the one I
This
paid
is
the
awful
compliment to.
now.
She was the one I
The
paid
other
the
two
compliment to.
boomers, the other two boomers going, not
I
only...
know they're all funny, but I'm just saying, like,
It's a
she's
bit
the
of a
one.
coincidence that the ones you didn't like are the ones that had boyfriends.
Yeah.
Oh no. The Boom Jenny that I said was very funny. I meant it from the bottom of my heart.
You can't even remember her name, mate. That's how funny you thought she was.
and the other two Boom Jennies, I was interested in boyfriend conversation. I was just quite drunk at the time, and I was.
Mate.
Let's play some music. This is XFM.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
That was We Share the Same Sun by the Stereophonics. Brand new. How brand new is brand new?
Well, it's their new single from their latest
new
album.
Right. So if you've had the album, then medium new Stereophonics on XFM, and we come to the point of the show where you can plug what you want, really, Charlie. So you've been here, you've served your time. You
Yeah.
now get your opportunity to plug your show.
I'll just...
And you've got 30 seconds.
No, I've not got 30
seconds.
seconds worth of plugging, to be honest.
We'll go free reign on this.
Okay.
Okay, it's my show, Baker's Dozen, is on 9:15 at Assembly 3, daily, 13 biggest selling UK singles of the last 13 years, and they are all rubbish, and we try and make them good, with jokes. That's it.
It's very good. It's very good. James?
7 o'clock, President's Courtyard. My show is called Lawnmower, and I am taking that on tour in the autumn.
Do you want to do your Twitter?
At Baker's Tweet.
At James Acaster.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.